we are live. Hi, Antoinette.
Hello. Hi, Louise.
And hello, everybody. I hope we've got some people in the front seats there because I need to check and see if anybody's hearing any noises. Antoinette, still on your side?
Yeah, I can hear us. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go and check if there's anybody on us yet. We're so on time today. I feel so accomplished.
Yay. That's a hallelujah.
Somebody's going to have to say hi to us pretty soon. Okay. Nobody's complaining. We
Well,
might be talking to ourselves.
no news is good news, eh?
Yeah. Okay, all right. So we are going to be talking about a post that we did a while ago, and which is all about acceptance, right? And it started with a quote from Carl Jung. Okay, you tell us what it was.
So Carl Jung's quote was, one of the most terrifying things for a human being is to completely accept themselves, all of themselves. They find it completely terrifying. And I'd never seen this quoted anywhere before, but I had once again gone down a bit of a rabbit hole of beating up on myself that week, a few days before. So I was doing posts again about self-acceptance. And one night when I was going through all these things I'd done wrong and that I wasn't good enough about, instead of keep on going down that rabbit hole, I just said to myself one sentence: what if everything is just okay? Anyway, it's just okay. And then I just went into complete peace. And the next day I found that quote. So I thought, I was wondering if I found it too scary to accept all those parts of myself that I found unacceptable. I found it too terrifying. And when I said to myself, it's just okay, all of it's okay, even though I think it's not okay, I just felt peaceful. So that was the prompt behind the post.
I wish I could remember Marianne Williamson's amazing quote that everybody knows, which is about the thing that scares us the most is not actually our imperfections. It's our magnificence that scares us the most. And it sounds to me like you're like on that cusp of like really stepping into your magnificence, and then you think you don't have a right. Always, the one that so many people are doing is, I can be magnificent, I can be fine, I can be happy, I can be this when I have achieved this. When I've done this, when I've done this, when I've done this. And it's so general, so many people do it. But we have to have a certain standard of perfect before we decide that we are good enough. We have to have a certain level where we have to get to before we can forgive ourselves, before we can accept ourselves, before we can embrace ourselves fully. And it's just that, but it's also, it can be an instant thing. It can be the moment when you say to yourself, I love myself, warts and all. I find that sentence, I've used it since I started volunteering at a CASO. And I found that sentence the most powerful of everything. I love myself, warts and all, because I like simple language. I like language that everybody can understand and relate to. And I think that is like a life decision, and we just have to pull ourselves back from the really, it's a bad habit, the very bad habit of wanting to be perfect before, or wanting to dwell on our imperfections instead of just accepting them.
Yeah, and the mind I have goes constantly to what I haven't done and when I'm not okay and what's not okay, rather than looking at what I have done, because there's lots of good things happening as well. And I think for me, that great unspeakable peace came when I said everything's just okay, because I accepted the imperfections, and that's also okay. And Anita Majani said in that book, Dying to Be Me, God loves all of us and He doesn't expect us to be perfect because we are perfect already. So yeah, it was a very big defining turning point that for me, but it keeps on coming, Louise. It keeps on coming over and over. I suppose eventually I'll retrain my mind to just go, "You're magnificent. It's all good."
I don't think it works quite like that, sorry. But the
Okay,
very
okay,
first thing,
I'm open to hear.
the very first thing is that, that sentence that you just said, I have a mind that, toss that idea. There's no such thing. Your mind is in service of you. Not you are a slave of whatever your mind wants to do. Your mind just have bad habits. That's why we love meditation. We love really focusing on our habits and our thought processes so that we can identify what's not working for us. But your mind is not in charge. And look, this is generally the way that people talk. I'm just like that, and that's just how I am, and this is just what, like, toss all of that bullshit. Toss it. Your mind is not in charge of you. You have got complete and utter control over your mind when you decide that the adult you is in charge and not the little scared child. When you put your little scared child in charge, it comes up with rubbish like it's telling you. And that's the moment. Look, there's something that you can do, which is a shortcut, and want everybody to know this. This stuff in our mind can go on and on and on and on, and it can trap us there. But what we want to do is we want to get to a place where we feel more good than bad. We want to get more peace and joy and serenity in our life, so that we can recognize early on the feelings, and the feelings are here. They sit right here in our throat, a weight on the chest, and a sick feeling in the stomach. It doesn't feel good. When that little child in us is in charge, it's a fear reaction. It's a diminishing reaction. It's a judgmental reaction, just judging ourselves. It doesn't feel good. We actually feel bad. If you feel bad continuously, it's a state of being for you. Like anxious and needing to be perfectionistic and needing to live up to this impossible standards and checking yourself the whole time. Am I fitting in? Am I acceptable? Then we are in a state of absolute non-stop, like near panic mode. We are in an anxiety mode the whole time. The low-grade post-traumatic PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Low-grade, because that's a effect. If you grew up with trauma, you just walk around the rest of your life scanning, which is low-grade post-traumatic stress disorder. And so, if you now start to become aware, and you become in charge of your life, you become mindful, then what you do is you start feeling better. You start liking yourself, you start feeling better about yourself, you start building yourself up, you start taking better care of yourself, you really start filling yourself up. And it feels good. It's not that constant anxiety. That anxiety is about not self-acceptance, about needing to check if you're fine in other people's eyes. So once you start feeling better about yourself, your body is going to be the one that tells you, you've got bullshit running around in your head. You need to stop this. So if you start paying attention to what your body is saying to you, you can stop that. It doesn't make sense to you, that feeling in your body.
Well, the interesting thing is you said it sits in your throat.
So there's throat, chest, stomach. It depends. It's not the same for everybody.
Well, I got throat cancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. But when you do things in your day or your days that are not great, and they're not great, so then it's very hard for me to go, oh, it's all okay, because I feel like, why didn't I show up better? Or so there's this balance between yeah, because we do need to show up better in the world, and not just, if we always think we're just okay even when we're out of line, then how do we ever show up to be better? You know what I
We're
mean?
all out of line sometimes. We really all are. But it's a slight. Wait, I just want to go back a minute. When I say you feel it here, what I'm saying is your body's having a cortisol reaction. It's a fight or flight reaction. It's a very real thing. Your throat literally constricts. You know, nobody eats while they are fighting a bear. And your little child in your amygdala is telling you you're fighting a bear. You, you, you're about to die. That's what the little child is telling you. So you have this very real reaction where the cortisol is being secreted, and it's going to your extremities. And so the heart is pumping, and you've got this constricted throat. And it doesn't feel good. It feels constricted. It feels anxious. It feels like you need to fix something this minute. And that's what I'm talking about. It's not a feeling you can avoid. Everybody gets it. It's a universal reaction that we get to any kind of stress, imagined or not. And if your little child is in defense mode, in survival mode, you're going to have a lot of cortisol being secreted all the time. So that's what I'm talking about when I say your body will tell you. Okay, now I've distracted myself, so you need to get me back on track here. Okay, so you were asking?
No, I asked so yes, you're 100% right, and it's about accepting all of ourselves. But when you behave quite badly,
Oh, yes, I'm back now. Yes, I'm back now. It depends on how you talk to yourself. Because we have to learn. We're all going to behave badly. Really, we are human. And like nobody doesn't. And I always keep on saying, you're going to behave badly when you're under stress. You're rushing too much. You've just had a big shock, or there's some sort of strain on you. There was a fight with somebody. There's a financial thing. You're sick. There's some strain on you, and then your resources are down, and you're more likely to slip into child mode. And when you're in child mode, you have to forgive yourself because it's old learned behavior, and you just have to go straight to, how can I fix this? And how can I do better? And you can do that without the in-between. Let me bash myself, slap myself silly, and try and change something that happened already. You can't change something that's happened already. It's done. It's that part of acceptance. It's done. You walking around and slapping yourself silly doesn't take away anything that's happened a minute ago, a year ago, 6 weeks ago. Doesn't. What does is becoming proactive. The minute you become proactive, something changes in your chemistry. Now you don't feel disempowered. Now you don't feel bad. You actually feel like there's something I can do. So if you can figure out, and remember also, you engage your logical mind. When you engage your logical mind, that little one who's been running the show gets a shut up. Shut up. You can't work at the same time as your logical mind. So the two logical questions that gets you out of this is, okay, do I have to apologize or not? And if I do have to apologize, how do I do it? Because you have to do it the right way. And the second way to do it, the second thing to ask yourself is, okay, what's the lesson? What have I missed? How did I end up in this situation? You focus on your lesson. You don't focus on beating yourself up. Now, you are doing what you want to do. You are getting better. You can do that getting better without slapping yourself silly. Right? Making sense?
Total sense. Thank you.
Okay, let's go in here. I want to go check if anybody's hearing noises. It's not a ghost.
Yeah, I did my post so late, so maybe.
Oh, don't tell me. Esther says there's a sound.
And Monaco, the broadcast is stop and go. I don't know if that's just for me. Oh, strange, very fast tapping sound. Yeah, that's what I hear.
Oh, okay. Okay, just can somebody tell me if that tapping sound is good or bad? I mean, we're going to be another 10 minutes, and then we're going to be done. Can you guys endure this for 10 minutes, or do we need to sign out and try and come back in?
I think we need to do this again. It's a big topic.
Okay. Anybody can tell us if it's driving them insane? Because we don't. We do care about you. So just tell us if you can manage, because then we'll carry on. If you can't manage, we'll stop.
Oh, you can hear, you can endure. Thank you. Yeah, I think Louise, really the point I was trying to make in my post in the last week is this radical self-acceptance actually is where the real, yeah, it's a very, very big turning point, I think, in healing. What does Jane say? Sounds like a very busy hamster on this wheel. Maybe that's my
Sorry,
head,
Jane.
Jane.
Sorry, Jane. So, nice to see you, Esther. Okay. Hi,
But
Tashley. Okay, so
Louise has lovely lipstick on, so you look so nice. Van
I'm also
Manners.
I'm not wearing black, people. I'm wearing red.
Yeah, and you've got lovely red lipstick on as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
so good.
it's a new day. We're wearing bright colors now. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this acceptance thing. Okay. So, but you want to talk about the acceptance of what if everything is okay? Now, I mean, I can talk about that one very fast, but I've got another thing about what if everything is okay, which we all miss. But Antoinette, everything is okay. That's the thing. Everything is okay. We're not supposed to be perfect. It doesn't exist. Everything is okay. It's like we have to lose our resistance to it. That thing that I said in the beginning. I have to be perfect. Then I have to achieve this. Then I have. I can't lose it. I can't have a weak moment and fight with somebody or say something unreasonable or I can't. I am the one on this world who can't do this. Other people going to mess up. They're going to come to me and they're going to say, I'm so sorry. And you know what? They're going to really mean it and I'm going to forgive them. But you know what? I can't do that. Right? Yeah, I know where some people are going, yeah, that rule doesn't cover me. I am the one who cannot. I have to be perfect. I can forgive other people. But I can't go to people and say, so messed up, I'm sorry. It's just like sometimes we do. And yeah, today I woke up with a migraine. I could hardly. And I promised Jan yesterday I would go into the shop so that he can go and do something that's really important for him, which is great, when he doesn't ask often for stuff that he want to do for himself. So this was like a really big thing and had to do with the aeroplane. So it's a big win for him. In spite of that, I just couldn't move. I had a migraine. I felt so bad. And I tried through all of this. I was crisis managing. And I just didn't go and support him, which is also not like me. He was really annoyed with me. And all I could say, I'm really sorry. It's not important to me. Because I felt so terrible. And, that's fine. I had a weak moment this morning. I'm allowed a weak moment. You are allowed a weak moment. You are allowed to be less than perfect. You are allowed not to live up to your own standards. It's fine. Everybody repeat after me. I'm allowed a weak moment. Come try it. Say it with conviction. Come. Everybody, come. I'm allowed a weak moment.
Oh, I don't have to be perfect.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody there at home, go give Antoinette a round of applause. She doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. Give up on the idea. Okay. All right. So let's talk about that other thing which is so important to me, which we've really never talked about. What if everything is okay? Because if we resist the things that happen in our life, that is how we heap trauma on ourselves. So stuff happens. People get sick. This happens. People are late. People are not nice to you. You have an accident. Car gets written off. People break in. We don't like the government. Stuff happens. Tough luck. What if it's all okay? What if this thing that just happened? What if I just fell and I broke my foot and it's all okay? What if it's all okay?
Mm-hmm.
What if it is perfect the way it is and I just don't like it? Because me not liking it is what makes me really upset inside.
The resistance.
The resistance. And when we can settle into a place of, okay, I don't like this. You don't need to like everything, but it is all okay. And I think it's got a lot to do with where you are in your life and what you want to achieve for yourself. And we have goals and we want to get somewhere, we want to do stuff. And suddenly things doesn't go to your planning. And then you realize months later, you realize that this was perfect. Now, and look, these things I'm talking about is stuff that you can't change. I am not talking about stuff that you can go and change. I'm not talking about, you know what, the dishes are dirty and it's just how it is. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these life things that happen to us. People who don't behave the way that we think they will, and they're not there for us, and we have to move on without them. Or like I've just said, you know, last year when I had a slip disc and I was really happy and content and in the studio and working and feeling very, I had COVID bliss. It was quiet and I could create. And all of a sudden I'm lying in my bed, I can't create. And I'm really annoyed. I'm so angry at my body. And I sulked for 3 days, and I know I told you about it at the time. I was really upset about it, and I don't normally get upset, and I don't ever get upset for 3 days. I pull myself out of it faster. And it had something to do with me lying on the floor, and I had to crawl to the toilet also, you know, so it was like really hectic. But the minute when I decide, okay, fine, what can I do? I can't do what I really want to do. I can't go back to that wonderful, blissful state I was in, just creating stuff. What can I do? And I put my mind on what I could do. The minute the resistance went away, which is what I'm saying. What if everything is perfect? Then I could focus, and that is the whole reason why I have now such a lot of online courses. I create wonderful programs that are helping people, and I had huge resistance, such huge resistance. And that is the thing. What if everything is perfect?
Yeah, I have to tell you that my knee operation has brought that home to me. It's so in technicolor. And the interesting thing is how we always talk about this and we all know it, but how the body and the mind are linked. But I've noticed when my mind goes into resistance, because this is such a long, slow, painful, difficult process. Plus, my dog's had 2 operations. So just when I'm getting better, now the dog's keeping me slow and at home. But I've realized with my knee, it's incredible the link between when my mind goes into that resistance and this is not going fast enough. I'm never going to walk puppy again. Do you know how stiff my knee gets? And as soon as I go into acceptance and what can I do with this? So I have to stay at home. There's lots of stuff I can do at home. I can sit on the computer and create. And suddenly my knee is more flexible and easy. It's astounding how closely linked I've seen the body and the mind through my knee up. And the resistance is the biggest problem of all.
Yeah.
Because it's not just mental, it creates physical reactions in our body.
Now you see why I wanted to talk about this. What if everything is perfect? Now you get me, don't you? Because this is such a magical gift to us. It's an enormous gift to ourselves when we decide to shortcut the pain. The pain is the resistance.
Yeah.
We shortcut the pain when we accept. We accept stuff that we can't change anyways. Remember, nobody's getting out of washing the dishes. That's not what we talk about. I'm talking about the stuff which we don't like, the stuff we actually would like to change, the stuff I would want differently. That's the stuff that's keeping us locked. Like literally your knees get locked. Everything inside you get locked. And the minute when you can focus on what can I do and what is the lesson, and you accept it. You know, I've got an even better one that I do, and this is which I didn't do with my back, which is like, okay, I don't like this. What is the blessing? But the minute I get over myself, even although I still not like something, I still know there's a blessing coming. I don't have to know it today. I don't have to see it today. The blessing is coming. That's the shortcut. And that's like a habit to learn. It's a light bulb. This is a light bulb. It's like really one of those. I'm giving you a gift, guys, of so enormous, and I promise you've got nothing to lose. But the next time something horrible happens in your life, something hard happens to you, something that you just don't want to know, to stop your old story of resisting it. It shouldn't be like this. And why did this happen to me? And I really should be different, and I want it different, and I don't like this, and I'm resisting this. Go to, I don't like this, but it doesn't matter because I know there's a huge blessing coming from this. I don't know what it is. It looks like there can't be a blessing, but there's some sort of huge blessing coming from it. And I've had very few exceptions, very, very few exceptions in this one.
Good. So and even with physical pain, I was in such extreme physical pain in the beginning. And it was incredible. When I dropped the resistance, I was still in pain, but I reckon it was 50% less. It was just so much easier once I stopped focusing on the pain. It's it's a big one. And there's always gifts. There's been such gifts in this. As far as in my cancer turned my life around, and yet I had to have another round of showing up to learn from this stuff,
Okay, let me see. We've got some. Okay, acceptance of a bad behavior, getting better. Yes, we're not supposed to do this class.
Yeah, I'm always trying to be the good girl.
Yeah, I love that. It's wonderful, Esther. We learn together. Sometimes somebody pushing our buttons is the best thing we can have. Yeah.
Thank you, Esther. Yes.
Yes, balance.
Good. That's beautiful.
Okay, Esther, where are you getting those perfect people? You know they don't exist, eh? You know, it's just a very tiring front. It doesn't exist. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's on. Isn't it all on the? Isn't it the front that we're keeping up there? I mean, I used to also be one of the perfect people squad. Wouldn't leave my house unless I had high heels on, and a matching handbag, and earrings that matches the shoes and the handbag, and the hair was done and the makeup was on, and here I go. Wouldn't do that. And then I had the deepest pain inside. I had the sad eyes.
Exactly.
But I didn't speak to anybody. Nobody knew. But underneath all of that, perfectly matching earrings, shoes, and handbag was somebody whose husband was an alcoholic and who was drinking and hiding it and driving her mind into some sort of frenzy because what is going on in my life? Not talking about it, but the perfect earrings, handbag, and shoes. Shops did well out of
veneer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you're gonna tell us more. Let me see if Esther is saying more. My thoughts on just it's really true. That's a really good thing to say.
That's gorgeous, Esther. Thank you. I think you should please do a nice post for us on the Facebook group. That's very nice.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. And okay, I'm glad you can hear enough to comment.
That's brilliant, Monica.
Wait.
That's so good.
Start here. Accepting where we are now is perfect for the task at hand. I'm just thinking, when we started doing these Facebook Lives and we didn't know what we were doing.
leaving? Yeah, it's not fun to hear only snippets or nothing. Shame. Okay, sorry, Monica. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Louise, listen, what I'm going to say to you is I like you commenting, Monica, but I think it's probably, for clarity, I'm hoping that the replay will be better than this. Also, there's something else going on, which people may not know. The sea cables to South Africa has been damaged 2 weeks ago, and the internet has not been good since then. So I think that's probably why Tashni, who is quite near, can hear us better than people who are needing to use the sea cables for internet.
Oh yeah, Monica's in Europe.
Yeah, and Esther also. So I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going to blame the sea cables here because I don't hear a single thing I'm sorry.
Well, it is quite hectic. I can hear it. It's your laptop, I think, like last time. But it's fine. We're here.
Okay, all right, it's fine. All right, I'm sorry, Monica. Hopefully next time we will sort this out because my new laptop needs to be rebooted. It doesn't have sound, and I don't know if it's this one or not. But I'm still thinking it is probably the C cables that are making it so bad. Okay, so I just want to say in closing, it's that before everybody's hamsters drive him dilly, it's really your mind is not in charge of you. That is just how we grow up. That's our way of thinking. You are in charge of your mind, and it takes awareness practices, awareness, and a lot of awareness you can bring into your life by checking your speech patterns and refusing to do the same things anymore. Speech patterns are like a practical way of becoming very mindful, and just refuse to bash yourself and refuse to say the negative things. Instead, to what is, like Esther just said, it's like say the positive things, but say it out loud, because your subconscious believes you after 6 weeks. Whatever you say out loud, they don't know if you are just pushing through and not believing it yourself. The subconscious will think that you're saying stuff that you believe in. So affirmations work because of that neuropsychological thing that has been proven that it actually does work. So check your speech patterns and use it to get yourself to a mindful place. Discard habitual thinking, to think that, you are flawed. Refuse to go there. And embrace your warts. Embrace yourself, warts and all. Celebrate it. Because that is the way in which we are human. That's the way in which we are human to other people. I can tell you something. I'm willing to show up with a tickety recording because instead of being that person with the perfectly matching earrings, handbag, and shoes, because I wasn't approachable then. And my pain wasn't for sharing with others. My imperfections wasn't for sharing with others. And I was less approachable then than now, and I know this. So now I'm willing to pitch up, and I'm just like, hi world, this is me. You know what? I'm going to be messy. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to do all kinds of things. I'm going to do it with great passion. And I'm going to do it with great determination. I'm going to do it with a real drive behind me to help other people. And that's going to shine through. Not the warts. That's what people are going to connect to. But if I'm willing to share my warts, and if I'm willing to share my pains and how I've messed up, people are going to connect to that too. People don't connect to perfect. We're fooling ourselves. That's the one thing. And the other thing is, don't resist what is. What's happened has happened. Use it and be excited. Get excited. The more you dislike it, the more excited you can get, because there's some blessings coming. You have nothing to lose to change your belief system. Nothing. Because the one way you resist what just happened, you achieve nothing. You just make yourself unhappy. You keep yourself locked in the past, in the and powerlessness. Powerlessness sucks. Nobody likes powerlessness. And no matter how many times you rerun it, you can't go and do it in the past. You can only redo it in the future by applying your mind to what can you do. So that's my giveaways. This is going to be a getaway now. So that was my takeaways. My takeaways from this.
Take away and get away. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, maybe the delay with Europe is the water stuff, Louise. The tapping
Yeah, I'm
might be
sure
your
it is.
top, but yeah.
I'm sure it is. Okay. Let's not try. Let's try to be less hard with ourselves. Let's treat ourselves like we treat our best friends, with encouragement and forgiveness. That's a really good way to do it. Yeah, listen to yourself. And it's that bashing story. Good enough is good enough, and we do better when we know better. And that's like, this is all. That's the harshest you must ever be with yourself. Good enough is good enough, and I do better when I know better. Yes, absolutely. And humor is the thing that saves us time and time and time and again. As long as we can keep our sense of humor and laugh at ourselves and allow other people to laugh at us without getting offended. Okay, what's your takeaway, Antoinette?
Everything's okay. We're okay. Yeah.
I'm okay. You're okay. Everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to cast.
Everything's okay. And right now there's a lot of shit going on in the world, but it's all also okay. And we'll see the reason and the purpose in it. If we look for it right now, we'll find it actually. Yeah. So thank you for a great conversation, Louise, and insight.
This was fun. Okay, so we'll see what we talk about next time.
Okay,
Thank you, lovely people, for joining, and all of you who are enduring the TikTok story. You know, we've got our own personal drummer in the back, and he's got a little furry hamster coat on. So it's, yeah, I don't know what it is, but
it's all okay.
It's all okay. It's our awards tonight. So. For everyone who's coming and has been sitting through it and commenting and sharing and liking, we love having you here. You're very special to us. Everybody who's coming afterwards and who's watching the replay, we're always going to go in and go and comment, and we appreciate you. And lots of love to everybody. Thanks, Antoinette.
Thanks, Louise. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.